This is Beyond the Stand, a podcast exploring the evolving voices, values, and practices in music education. I'm your host, Jeremy Bryant, a high school popular music educator and Master of Music in Music Education candidate at Belmont University. This podcast is part of my personal and professional journey to answer one big question: how can we provide excellent, rigorous, and relevant music education through the lens of popular music? In each episode, I speak with educators, students, and leaders who are shaping what music education looks like today and what it can be tomorrow. Whether you're rooted in traditional ensembles, teaching modern band, or somewhere in between, you're invited to this conversation. Let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Stand, where we talk about music education from all angles. So we've talked to teachers, we've talked to experts, officers in music education associations. But today what we're going to do is we are going to talk to the people at the very heart of popular music education, and that's the students. So as you all know, I'm Jeremy Bryant. I am a commercial music instructor at Battleground Academy in beautiful Franklin, Tennessee. And I have two guests with me today. One of these guests has been in my music program since his freshman year. He's a drummer and a guitarist who's made commercial music his one and only fine arts focus. The other is a pianist who is new to the program this past year, but she also juggles drama and is heavily involved and greatly focused on visual arts. So what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to talk about why this class matters, why, as we call it at BGA, commercial music ensemble, why it matters, how it has shaped them as students creatively and personally, and what it offers that's different from other parts of school. So let's get rolling. If you guys wouldn't mind, could you each introduce yourselves and share how you first got involved with the program? So we'll start with Brody.
All right, I'm Brody Watson. I got involved, so when I was coming into BGA, my initial focus was sports, and then I saw that commercial music was a thing, and they said that there was a new instructor, and
Rock on.
that got me hyped up, and then that was like 3 years into, or 2 or 3 years into me playing guitar, and I just thought it would be something that would like broaden my horizon with music and give me more experience and just overall,
Okay. Yeah, sounds great. And then Audrey, what about you?
My name is Audrey Priddy, and I first found out about this program through just like watching the live concerts, and I thought it looked really fun. I didn't really have an area where I could focus on music before, so I felt like this class would really help me to like learn more because I am self-taught on piano, so I thought it would help to just get more experience and learn about like what live playing is like.
Cool. So for both of you, what were your expectations going into the class, and how did they change, or did they change once you were actually in it?
I guess I didn't really have a whole lot of expectations because it was something that I'd never really heard of. It was like kind of foreign to me. I guess, I do School of Rock as well, and I actually started CME before School of Rock, but it's pretty similar in the way that we like sit down, listen to a song, think about how we're going to play it and how we're going to format all the like the parts, and then rehearse on our own time, and then get to it in the classroom. And that's pretty much how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So you didn't really know what to expect going in, but it just kind of all evolved for you. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And Audrey, what about you?
I'm similar to Brody. I didn't really like have any expectations going into it because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I guess
I disagree with that.
I guess it was like I didn't realize how student run it is and like student led, and how it really is about like taking the initiative to learn your parts and to step up And it's not really like the teacher gives you this thing, you have to play it exactly like this. Like we're all working together and it's a very collaborative effort.
Awesome. Cool. All right, Brody, this is for you specifically. So you focused on this area of fine arts. What kept you coming back year after year?
I've just always wanted to be the best I can be, you know, get my full potential. And I feel like CME teaches me a lot of different like aspects of being a musician, like being around people not as experienced and then being around people more experienced. So I get to kind of be a leader, but also like follow the lead of other people who know more. Especially as a freshman, I felt that I learned a lot from the other like upperclassmen, and yeah, I just wanted to be the best I can be.
Cool. Yeah. So you feel like you've grown over those?
I feel like I definitely have
years?
grown. Yes,
I agree. All right. So for Audrey, you've been involved in other arts programs in the school. So how does what you've done in CME compare to art or drama, visual art or drama in terms of your creative expression?
Well, on the one hand, it's like very similar to like drama because live performance it can be messy. Like there's times where you have to just go with the flow and where you have to kind of like bounce off of other people while you're performing. And then on the other hand, it's like very different from visual art because you are allowed more time to like make sure it's exactly how you want it. So I would probably compare like studio recording more to like visual art and then like the live performance aspect to drama.
Awesome. That's great. I hadn't actually thought about that. So now let's move on to a different section, a different topic, kind of just talking about your guys, your voice, your confidence, and your collaboration. So for both of you, how has this class helped you grow more confident as a musician or person? And can you give an example?
I feel like, again, it's broadened my horizon. Like I used to be really like just focused on one area of music, and that was like the prog metal stuff, the new like guitar shenanigans. And I feel like first year in CME, I learned a lot more like different types of music than I thought I would, and especially for what I want to do with music, I feel like that's really helped me because I want to be like, I know session musicians are like starting to fade away, but I'd really like to be one of them, and I feel like that's helped a lot.
Okay, so yeah, so since you're on the topic, so what you said what you want to do with music? You want to be a session musician?
Yes.
Okay.
Ideally.
Okay. Yeah, great. And then how about you, Audrey?
I think it's definitely helped me because I'm very much a perfectionist. I am somebody who like wants to get everything right, and if I mess up, like I feel horrible. So with live performance, it's one of those things where you just have to accept if you make a mistake and just move on. You can't dwell on it, and you can't like go back on it, and you can't make it as perfect as possible because mistakes are going to happen and like stuff is going to happen. But I think it's really helped me to learn how to work with other people like while it's happening, and also to just let go of like making everything perfect.
That's awesome. That's really great. I actually, to hear it from my side, that's a thing I really tried to instill, as a performer myself, is it's not always going to be absolutely perfect. Like if you're recording, you can go back and make something better. But in a live performance, something's going to happen and you've got to be able to move on. So I think that's great. So as far as, the structure of how we do things, how has it felt to play music that you actually listen to or help choose?
Sometimes it can be hard because the other musicians don't exactly understand like how the song is supposed to be like felt when you play it. But other times it can feel like it's like otherworldly. It's like you hear this song for so many years of your life, and then you're finally playing it and it feels right. It makes you feel like a real musician, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Instead of just like a student of music. And yeah, it feels good.
All right.
Yeah, I think I kind of feel the same way, to a bit of a lesser extent, because a lot of the music that we played this year wasn't stuff I was super familiar with, but I liked getting to know. But I think it's just fun to play songs that like other people know, because it helps them to get into it. Like the audience, the crowd is getting into the song when they know it and they'll like sing along. And as somebody who is like part of the crowd years before, it's really fun to see a new take on like a song that you have listened to for a while or really well.
Yeah, that's really great. I love those two different perspectives too, because like Audrey, you said, you don't necessarily are familiar with those songs, but seeing that the audience knows them you get a lot of energy from that.
Yeah.
If I think I remember you guys, I think when we did some of the lunch concerts, and it was your group, Brody, that did what's the song from Barbie, the Barbie movie? Goodness, Tucker was going to sing it. This is really candid, podcast listeners. It's a 90s pop tune, female singer. Goodness.
This year?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I really don't know.
That's what happens, people.
Yeah.
We draw a blank. Anyways, it was a song that me, as growing up in the 90s. Linger, that was it. Yeah, it was Linger.
Yeah.
So it was Linger, and I was just, people aren't going to be, and the cafeteria was singing the song. And, you wouldn't think of that as much of a seriously musically challenging song. But there's a feeling you get when you reach people in that way. Awesome. So do you think having a say in working in, those moments when you are picking the music with your classmates, like, does that make you take it more seriously, less seriously? How do you...
I think it makes me take it more seriously, like, especially if other people are picking music that they really like, then I don't want to, like, let them down.
Yeah.
Then be like, nah, this isn't how it's supposed to be,
Right.
I want to be, like, on the dot, right on it. And, I mean, I feel the same about, like, the other people in the class. Like, if I pick a song that I really like, I want it to be, like, good. I don't want it to be, like, half-assed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think I take it like the same level of seriousness as other ones. Typically the songs that are like student chosen are a little bit easier for piano than the ones that we do for like actual concerts, because it's a little bit less heavy on like piano solos. So that does like help me be able to learn all of them quickly. But I don't think I feel similar to Brody. I don't want to let people down, but I try to.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. So we're kind of transitioning really well. Let's talk about collaboration. What's it like working with a band rather than just working on your instrument by yourself?
It's definitely a lot more work. You have to find your sonic space in the band, and not try to step on other people or what they're doing. And it can be really hard to do that sometimes, especially when you're playing some like simple music, because if you play the same thing as the other guitarists, you're just stepping all over them. So it's hard to find your space, but once you do, it feels really good, and it feels like everyone in the band is doing their part, and it just makes for a good song. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's so different from being on your own, because there's just so much more about like feeling than I expected when I went into this program. It's a lot about like feeling like especially like lining up when the song starts and ends. It's like you have to be of one mind with the band. Like you have to be knowing what everybody else is doing and everyone else is thinking while you play. And it's a very different experience from working on your own. And like, if I've done like a little bit of music production, it's very different from recording each individual part and putting it together. It's about like the feeling, and it's a thing that you can't really identify.
Right. Communicating without words, right?
Yeah.
You've really got to be able to know how to communicate. I mean, you see a lot of, I think about church music around.
Yeah,
you got click tracks, and you've got a voice sometimes telling you chorus 2, 3, 4, or a music director on a mic that the audience can't hear saying, hit the chorus right here, which sometimes it's necessary if you're doing more of a free-flowing, not a set arrangement. But, when you're kind of in the jazz world or, a jam band kind of world, that nonverbal communication is important. So what's something you've learned in our commercial music class that you don't think you would have learned somewhere else at school?
I feel like a leadership, like the leadership aspect of it, especially this year, because I felt like I was with people who were not as experienced as I am in music. So I had to kind of guide them through the songs a little bit. But it's hard to find that place where you're guiding them but not pushing them. And it's kind of frustrating sometimes. But I feel like, leadership.
Yeah. Is not getting that in math class?
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Yeah, I once again agree with Brody on that. And I think the collaboration side is something that I haven't really experienced. Like what Brody was saying, you have to learn where your place is, and you don't want to step over other people, but you also can't just not do anything or like fade into the background. Like everybody needs to work together. And I think that was something that I've learned a lot from this class, is about collaborating.
Yeah. It's definitely a speech I like to give, especially back in my band directing days, was this is not like another class you'll take in school, because in math or English, unless you're doing a group project, like if you don't pull your weight on your English exam, the person sitting across the room from you is not going to be affected by you not doing well. Yeah. But if you don't know your part for the show we've got coming up or the music that we're playing, well, the whole group actually suffers for that. So it's definitely a different level of accountability, I think. So kind of one last question for this episode, guys. I want to venture into thinking, just kind of the speculation, like, if we didn't offer this form of music, because we're required to give you a fine arts credit in school, right? So if there wasn't a popular or commercial music option, do you think you would have pursued the choir, band, we don't have one, but orchestra, kind of traditional route?
Honestly, no, I don't think I would have. I've never really been interested in like classical music or band music, and guitar has always kind of been my focus. I tried doing band in middle school, and I just did not like it at all. Sorry.
You're good.
And honestly, like the main reason I stayed at BGA is because of this class and because of the music. And yeah, I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for this class.
I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
I think I might have gone for choir, but I did band in 6th grade for like one semester, and I'm really not super good at the instruments that they play in like band or orchestra. I think it might have been like a fun thing to try, but I don't know if I would have stayed in those classes. I think this class is very different because, we use more modern instruments. I don't think any other classes really, maybe besides like choir, but the students aren't playing like use piano or guitar, drums, stuff like that. I probably wouldn't have continued down like the music route.
Great. And just for our listeners, I'm not saying that those programs are not important. I love band. I'm a trumpet player, and I will opt to play Holst suites at any given moment. But just trying to kind of draw out here, thinking about the different students a popular music program can reach and the things that it offers. So, guys, hearing your stories today really reinforces that, music class doesn't have to look one way to be meaningful. So in the next episode, what we're going to do, we're going to shift from the, hey, why is this important? How does it affect the students? We're going to talk about the how. Like, how does our class work? What do we do? And how do we balance that with other commitments we have? So stay tuned. In the next episode, we're going to talk about how our commercial music program works. Thank you very much. This has been Beyond the Stand. Thanks for listening to Beyond the Stand. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please follow the show and share it with a fellow educator. You can find episode summaries, resources, and future updates at beyondthestand.com. This podcast is part of my capstone project at Belmont University, and I'm excited to keep learning and sharing along the way. Until next time, keep creating, keep adapting, and keep making music that means something.